This conference will now be recorded. This conference will now be recorded. This conference will now be recorded. This conference will now be recorded.
So we are starting the session. Hey, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. Thank you for joining this online free webinar organized by Micronet on the Guidewire Insurance Suite platform. So before we dive into and introduce our trainer, quick 2-minute update on who Micronet is and what they do. So Micronet has been doing services in US and India for the last 18 years. They have expertise on various technologies, and Micronet gives training to new hires, and they also place within their client base. For any kind of information, you can go to the Micronet website or to their LinkedIn page to get a current update. Today's session is Guidewire Insurance Suite platform. Let me introduce our trainer Praveen Dabas. He will take and he will share the screen and he will go to the details about Guidewire Insurance Suite platform. Thanks. Praveen, you can go and share your screen. Praveen?
Yeah. Hey, hi guys. Yeah. Okay. So can my screen so that. Okay. Are you guys able to see my screen? I believe this is not.
Yeah.
Okay,
Able
so
to
you can
see your screen.
Okay. All right.
And quick thing before Praveen starts. So there is a Google sheet which has been shared in the chat. So whoever is joining from wherever location, it will be really helpful if you can go and fill up the Google sheet so that we have your information, and later we can send you updates on the further trainings that we conduct. Thanks, Praveen. Please go ahead.
Okay. All right. So guys, I'll start with my quick introductions. My name is Praveen. Today we are, we have come for this Guidewire demo. So we will be talking about this Guidewire products, different modules, what is the usage, why do we need Guidewire in the first place? Okay. Before that, can I get a brief introduction of your role and like what would be your expectation out of this demo?
Hey Praveen, I am Vinod here. I am very new to this Guidewire. So I'm working as Oracle DBA. So I just want to know what exactly it is and what is the market trend on this.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. Okay. Anyone has any prior experience on this Guidewire, or like, because I have been told that that you all guys are pretty new on this. You know, anyone has any?
Hi, Praveen.
Yeah. Hi.
Yeah, Naresh here. So currently I'm working in the insurance sector, which is P&C, property casualty. I think Guidewire is the most popular suit for this. So I just want to understand
Correct.
more on this. Yeah.
Okay. All right. We have some people who are already working on P&C insurance. So just for the record, P&C is property and casualty insurance. Any further questions, guys? Anybody who want to share and have something? Okay. All right. I think that would be good enough. We can start with our quick introductions. So when you talk about a Guidewire is Guidewire is an insurance software product. So what we do is, so Guidewire, so here we'll be having an online demo on Guidewire, and we'll start with like what is Guidewire and why do we need Guidewire in the first place. Okay. So Guidewire is your core backend software for your P&C insurance carriers. So carrier is your insurance companies now. So Guidewire is a company who provides software which could be used by your insurance companies. Okay. So so now the next question is, there are many service providers or these software vendors who provide their core solutions for your insurance companies. So what is the need for Guidewire and why only Guidewire? Okay, so Guidewire software is a solution which these insurance companies are adopting. Okay, Guidewire represents many applications which the insurance companies or the insurers have within their technology stack. So just by going through the presentation, I'll take you a quick walkthrough of, we have something called guidewire.com. Since we are talking about Guidewire, this should be your first point. So you just go through the guidewire.com over here. This is what their website is. Okay, what all details that they have posted. So when you talk about their customers, then you have to figure out they have more than 380 P&C insurers worldwide who have selected Guidewire software as their core IT solutions. Okay, so there are 380 insurance companies worldwide who are using Guidewire for their for their policy, claims, and billing management, and there are other softwares too. Okay, so now you can explore. There are a couple of products you can go through this. I would suggest you with let's start with the customers. Okay, like when we are learning something, we should know that okay, who would be my target audience. So you can go to this product. So their URL called guidewire.com/customers, or you can click on customers over here. Okay, it will take you to the same page. So these are all the insurance companies who are using Guidewire in their on their daily business. So these are all the products that they choose. Insurance suite, policy, billing, claim. Insurance suite is basically a combination of all these three. You have Insurance Now, Data Hub, Info Center, Data Analytics, okay, Live Analytics, and My Guidewire Digital. So these are all different products what Guidewire offers. Okay, we will be working primarily on the core section, which is policy, billing, and claim. Like I'm saying, the combination of insurance suite. Okay, so these are my different companies worldwide. You can just go through this, like Alpha Insurance. They're like too much of big names. You can go through each one of them. So these are like big insurance companies who have their businesses, their operations in multiple states, multiple countries. Okay, and every insurance company have like some larger number of stores, like 100+ stores. So on that stores, when they sell this insurance, insurance, they sell their policies. Okay, so they keep Guidewire software as the tool, as the IT solutions to store their policy informations, to store their billing and claims informations. Okay, so this is my Guidewire customers. Okay, and now next we'll talk about the Guidewire products. So like what all the products that they are offering. And okay, so you can see there they have got 3 products. One is your core product, which is insurance suite. Okay, you have policy, billing, and claim into this. Okay, you can use a data side for this. So when you are, let's say somebody mentioned that he's working on Oracle DBA, so Guidewire, it has its own data center. You have data hub, info centers. You can do the analytics, predictive analytics. So you can come with your data manipulations over here, and you have the digital sections. Digital is what? So the core operation that we are using, core operation is for the end customers, like insurance employees. Okay, like if I'm working as an insurance company as a policy underwriter, so I will be working on the policy application. Digital, on the other hand, is for the customers. Okay, so this is my customer engagement. Like if I am the insured, I'm the policy holder, I will be having a customer engagement portal with me. Like it's kind of a kiosk device, handheld device. Like you can say this as a mobile application. So you can log into that mobile application. This mobile application will internally be talking to my policy application and taking the detail of this customer's policy or his claim status. Okay, so this is for your digital section. Like you can go through web portal or mobile application. Producer portal is for the agents, services for the client service people. Okay, so these are the products that Guidewire offers. Okay, so what we will be doing is we will be talking about. Okay, so we'll start with this. So in our training, what we do is, and guys, anyone has any idea on like why exactly you'll go for a Guidewire? Why not we hire some Java developers, .NET developers, and build our own product? Anybody? Yeah. Keep it interactive because.
Yeah, no idea.
Okay, see, so the reason why you are going with a ready-made product or a ready-made solution is you don't have to spend your time, in building your applications. So Guidewire gives you a ready-made solutions. So ready-made means you have this policy applications, billing application, and claim applications already there. It's ready over there. You have like 80% of the functionality, pre-built, pre-configured. Okay, so as an insurance company, when you talk about the Guidewire insurance suite, you have got few participants like here. You will be talking about policy underwriting. You will talk about the policy transactions, billing details, claims management. Okay, so all these operations, all these flow will automatically be managed by their existing products. Okay, so the advantage with these insurance company is they can directly buy a product which is already like like a mature product who has very good demand in the market. They can directly take this product, deploy this on their applications with small customizations. Okay, so if you learn this thing, you will be getting there would be some career options. You can either work for all these customers or you can work for all of their implementation partners. Okay, it's like a brief introductions about the Guidewire product. So we'll talk about the next step, who exactly will be using this Guidewire products. As I've already mentioned, okay, so they are like service representative over here. They have mobile applications, laptop applications. Okay, so now you have the who will uses your Guidewire product. You have policy underwriter, which is from your policy admin systems, claim adjuster, risk managers, customer service representatives, and billing clerks. Okay, so these would be the end customers. Now, if I am running an insurance company, so these are my employees. Okay, like policy underwriter is the one who's face of my policy applications. Like if you're looking for a car insurance policy, you'll go to this insurance company either directly or you'll go via agent or after doing your verification from your online. So you'll speak to this underwriter who's an policy guy who's an expert on issuing your policy. So you'll submit your request to this guy and he can manipulate it. He can suggest you something, he'll change your requirement and he'll try to suggest you the best possible options for your policy details. Okay, so next is your claim adjusters. Now going forward, if you'll file a claim on this, okay, so we all understand why we take an insurance policy, because we are trying to cover our risk. Risk is, if I have taken a car, I can anticipate that tomorrow there could be a problem. So for my apprehensions, I take a policy, okay, which is not arduous. I can simply take a policy. I can I'm just transferring my risk. Okay, if because I can if there is an accident, I have to pay a big price. Okay, for my medical coverages, sorry, for my medical for my own medical needs, for my car, whatever is the damage that will happen to my vehicle, and to the third person who will be involved. So I'll try to transfer that risk to the insurance company, and I agree to pay a premium amount. Okay, in case if something happens, okay, so that in case of a collision happen, the company is liable to pay for all the damage that has happened. Okay, so the policy underwriter is the one who will draft your policy and assure you that if something goes wrong, they will take care of it. So for these end customers, we are building this product, or at least we can say we are customizing this product. Okay, so now next topic is when you talk about insurance suite. Okay, and so these are my my insurance suite, complete combination of all three applications. Like you have policy, billing, and claim. Okay, so your policy application is all about creating a policy, modifying policy, renewing a policy. Okay, so you can think of this from a from a layman perspective. If a customer starts going on, let's say if I'm over here, okay, let's suppose I'm the customer here. Okay, so I have this my own car. Okay, okay, just consider this as a car. Okay, just ignore the drawing part on this. So let's suppose I have a car, so I need this car to be covered. Okay, I need my insurance on this car, so I'll go to this policy applications. Okay, I'll go to this insurance company and I'll interact with this policy guy, underwriter. So he will be creating me the policy. Okay, like if I'm taking a longer policy, let's say for 5 years or 10 years, so there might be some modification on my policy. I want to change some coverages, I want to change my address, I want to update some details, I want to take some additional things, I want to renew my policy for the next years, and in case if I'm not liking it, I want to cancel this policy. So all these policy related transactions will happen on the policy side. Okay, now on the same thing, like from your policy applications, once my policy has been issued, okay, I have submitted my policy request. Next thing is I'll be talking to my claims application. Sorry, I'll be talking to my billing applications. So the purpose of policy application is only about your PAS system. Okay, PAS is your policy administrator system. So this application will only talk about your policy changes, policy maintenance. Okay, it will not take care of your billing part. Whatever the agreed amount, let's say you take a car insurance and you say, okay, I'll pay $800. So for $800, you say, give me 4 invoices in a year. I want to pay every quarter. So that detail, this guy will bundle and give it to the billing applications. So the billing application will work on the policies that have been sold from policy applications. Okay, so they will be billing the policy holders, okay, for all the policies, and they will be making a commission payment to all their agents. Okay, so the billing application is just to take your premium amount on a month basis, okay. So we have policy applications talking to billing. Now, as as long as these two people are fine, okay, they are going hand in hand. So we have policy is good, I'm making my timely payment of my billing, so my policy is covered. So now in certain situations, if my accident happens, okay, I have something, let's say my accident happens. So what I did is I'll just look at my policy and say, look, buddy, this guy says, okay, I'm covered in case of an collision. So I'll take that policy and now I'll go to my claims. Okay, so claim application again will check something, whether this guy has this specific coverage or what is the payment status of this guy. Is he making a timely premium payment or not? So you can process your claims, provides payment to the claimants for the covered losses. Okay, so covered losses means if you have taken, your collision thing, then you will be, you can claim only for the collisions part. So it's not like you can take it cover, you can take a, take a coverage for something else and you can claim for something else. Like in case of a comprehensive roadside assistance towing services, you would not be entitled to collect any payments. So this is on a higher level. I would say this is like 10,000 feet height. So we have all these details. Okay. All right. So this is my entire insurance suite. This will take care of all your policy applications from start to finish. Okay. Any questions, guys, so far on like what is Guidewire insurance suite?
Yeah, one question, Praveen. So, will the policy center have access to a customer, or only underwriter will have access to it?
Both are same, right? My customer and underwriter.
I mean to say that suppose I want to take policy, so it is a front end. I can directly entry the requirements, or only the underwriter can select the coverage and all those things.
Okay, so from okay, for you, customer means the insured. Okay, so they are different.
Yeah.
I thought the insurance
Yeah.
company. So if you are the insured, then it is not for you. Like I said, you will be getting a digital and mobile applications where you will be getting some credentials. You can log in and see some details. So it's not for
Okay.
you. It's the underwriter. It's for the insurance people.
Okay. Fine.
So, okay, any other questions? Like I think this is what we have already discussed about this product. This is for the end customers. Okay, customer engagements. Okay.
Thanks. Bye.
All right. So now, any other questions, guys? Okay, so we have prepared like this is a small presentations like why you should go for Guidewire, what are the different competitors, and what is the reason Guidewire is so popular in this. It is like small presentations, like a small video, 2.5 minutes. I would like you to just go through this once, at least have some informations on a video format, and then we'll continue with our presentations. Okay, so if you talk about why Guidewire, we can watch this thing and we'll come back later.
Praveen, sorry to interrupt. We are unable to hear voice.
Okay, somebody was saying something on this. I think I missed it.
Yeah, we are unable to hear voice of the video.
No, I was not talking. It was the video which was playing.
Yeah, we are unable to hear the voice inside the video of the video. You can say.
So the video has
You were
no
not able,
sound actually, Praveen.
no, I was able to hear it.
Oh, we were not able to hear. Yeah, now it's coming.
Okay.
And I said to him, we're clear about who we want to use and what we want to do. Quite naturally, he was wanting, well, I wanted to test them. You know, you often get software providers to good stories. I'd like to meet them. I'd like to review them. I think initially he was almost startled by the directness of the Guidewire folk. It was also refreshing because they basically said what they thought. We were discussing our claims project, and that was the beginning of the negotiation. This is really one of the occasions where you understand that Guidewire don't want to waste your time, don't want to waste their time, and when you propose you something all in one, you have to be sure you can be successful together. When I look at vendors, obviously we have the usual criteria around the company, around the product itself, that we do all this good stuff. But really, also at the same time, you want to meet the people and understand whether you actually want to do business with them for a long time, right? And this is where candor, I think, is the number one marketing strength. If a person is candid,
Sorry, Praveen, can't hear you again.
you know, smoking mirrors, talking to obviously with much more than you have. So candor generates trust, and trust is fundamental ingredient when when people call me, and actually quite a few people call me about Guidewire. I think the first thing I said that they're very good technologists. This is rare in our market. And sometimes I say that it's the only technology company I've found so far. They are very blunt and very, straightforward. They mean business. They're very, very straight. And the third thing I say is that the project was a project. Honestly, it's difficult to remember a project that went so well. We arrived on time, on budget, and we actually over-delivered on the scope. This is rare in our industry.
Okay, so that was like a quick discussions about what exactly that they have to offer. You can actually, check this thing online as well. You will find it, on YouTube itself. Like if you just, type something like why Guidewire, they'll tell you exactly the same presentations. Okay, so so now we'll talk about the, so we have some initial understanding of Guidewire product. So we'll talk about the agenda of the training, like what exactly we would be offering in this training. So Guidewire is giving you a ready-made solution. On top of that ready-made solutions, so let's say we have seen that, okay, my Guidewire application would be applicable for, the same bundle that they are offering, same package. It's a software at the end of the day, right? So the software bundle that they are offering to all 380 customers is the same. So all these customers need some implementation, some customizations. Okay, like when you talk about some of the job openings on Guidewire, you'll see something, okay, one second. We'll come back to the agenda of the training in a minute, and we'll see some of the career options. So you guys can try this by yourself and see this, Guidewire job opening. Okay, you can just try this Guidewire job opportunities worldwide. Okay, so it is a different topic, that it is more than just a job. And you will see, all these Indeeds, Guidewire jobs. Okay, Teamwear, Guidewire, we are hiring on this. Like Capgemini is hiring, Admiral Technologies is hiring. So in fact, I think that my safest guess would be if you'll go for Naukri.com for all the Indian participants. Okay, over here, this is your skill. So you'll just type Guidewire over here, no locations, and do a blank search. Okay, so you will get something like at this point of time, even though this is you are getting like 45 jobs within India. Okay, at this point of time, there is no jobs available. Okay, I think many people have left, have been fired, or they're doing their cut down. Still there are openings on Guidewire. We used to have like 300 to 400 jobs, at a given point of time on Guidewire. Okay, so all these big companies, you can see all these locations you have this opening on Guidewire tester with Selenium in your Texas. you can see all these top 20 jobs. Okay, so you have it, development architect on your, California, you have, okay, you have front-end software engineers. Okay, so you have a job on, Guidewire policy centers. Okay, you can, so all the big four companies are working on Guidewire. So you'll talk about PwC, Deloitte, E&Y, KPMG. So all these companies work on Guidewire. Small players also, like you talk about Value Momentum, they are starting on Guidewire. Some small companies, or you can directly work with the insurance companies directly. Okay, so see, you have info services. There are many organizations who are coming. There are like, TCS, Accenture is also coming on this. Okay, so these are your career options that you can see on Guidewire. You can try and go through these other links. So what exactly would be your role if you will go for a Guidewire developer? Okay, so on your development side, you have to customize these applications. I would like to give you a brief about what does an application look like, so you can access it directly from, from my UI. Okay, this is my policy center applications. Okay, just give me a minute and let this application load. Oops, is it not coming? Okay, so we have this policy center application here. Okay, so this is my policy center applications. This is my Guidewire product. Okay, this is Guidewire policy center. Okay, so what you see over here is, so you have this, you can log in through this with your username and password. Okay, so from here, what you get is, just give me a minute. So you can log into this Guidewire applications. So this is your ready-made solution that you get. So when you are taking a training with us, we will be giving you this live URLs. Okay, on policy applications, billing and claim. We'll talk about how does an account creation, what does an account means, what is my policy. So we'll talk about all the basic policy transactions. Like if some of you already have an experience on insurance, you'll understand how you submit a policy, you review the policy, you write your business rules, validations. With your changing customer requirements, you try to optimize your solutions. So policy center will give you all those features. Okay, so you will be getting a direct access. This is the product that Guidewire offers me out of the box. Out of the box means default versions. Okay, this is like a base vanilla version that Guidewire is giving me. We will be working on customizing it. Okay, so the agenda of the training would be, we will be covering everything that Guidewire offers in out of the box functionality. Okay, like what exactly they meant to cover in their presentations. We will be talking about some different areas of customizations. So, the same solution cannot work with all 380 different customers. So every customer will come back and try to modify something. So we will talk about the customizations. So you will be having a short cycle of customization, maybe let's say 6 months, and your product would be customized for one client. Okay. So let's take an example for Liberty Mutuals. So we have had the privilege to, provide trainings to these insurance companies also. Okay, so like we have a decent amount of experience. So we provide this training to the insurance companies like Liberty Mutuals, Farmers Insurance. We have given the training to some. Let's say you talk about Pfizer, IBM, and some other companies. We are currently in discussions with, you have something with Infosys. So we provide training to these corporates. So it is completely a job-oriented training. So what you will be learning is, so what these people, they take the training for their existing employees. So we train them so that they can become productive on their own. On the other hand, if you guys are taking this training, we will teach them how this customization happens. So this is my complete job-oriented training. Okay, you will learn to implement some real-time business use case, which you can project as your real-time business experience, real-time implementation experience, and you can, apply for your job. Okay, so we will be giving on-the-job learning with a complete hands-on. So that would be the complete total agenda of the training. Okay, on a higher level that we are talking about. Okay, any questions, guys, so far on this?
So what is the timeline for this, Praveen?
So the time frame would be like we take a time frame of 4 to 5 weeks for one module. Like if you want to learn for policy center, it's not that easy. We will be giving a complete hands-on, means we will be giving you the daily assignments. You will be having the complete assignments. You have to do the hands-on. You have to implement the business use case, real-time story cards, and you will try to learn something which you will be learning in a real-time, your on-the-job experience. So it will take, for one module, it will take like 4 to 5 weeks. Okay, and if you'll go for all three modules, it would be like close to 8 to 10 weeks of complete training for all three modules. Okay, all three means your policy, claims, and billing, and you can get any chance of working on any one of them. Okay.
Yeah, fine. Okay.
Okay, so if no further questions, we can move ahead. Okay, so now we'll talk about my, let's suppose this is what my real-time example is when I'm talking about my car insurance. Okay, so on my car insurance, what I'm doing is I have a car. Okay, this is what I was trying to draw that picture. I have a car and I'm looking for this insurance because I want to cover my risk. I anticipate, I think that okay, something tomorrow can go wrong with my car. I want that, I want to be covered. So I take my car insurance. Okay, for car insurance, when I go to the insurance company should be working on one particular solutions. Okay, so when you talk about what all steps this customer has to do, or the employer has to do, okay, so they will be using Guidewire products. So Guidewire supports all these basic versions, drafting your policies, submitting, giving you the quotations. It's not easy for a customer to decide on the first attempt that okay, what type of insurance he is looking for. So this application will give you a lot of features, just to give you the best options, best coverage that you can offer. Okay, and this is my broad steps of submissions. So whenever a customer comes and asks for a policy, it would be a quick, okay, it will identify the product. Let's say he is looking for a personal auto. Okay, or if this could be a homeowners, or this could be workers' compensations. So you identify the product, what exactly he wants. We gather all the information around the policy. Okay, what needs to be covered? Like for my car, I can take a collision coverage. I can take a comprehensive coverage. I can take a medical coverage. Towing services, roadside coverage. So based upon my coverage, what all things I want to be covered on my car insurance, accordingly my price will be calculated. That is my quotations. If you add more coverages, you have to pay higher premium. Okay, if you just keep a lower coverage, lesser coverage, you have lesser premium. But again, you have to do a trade-off. You have to make a balance that okay, just for the sake of lesser premium, you should not be just ignoring some important coverages. If tomorrow something happens, you might have to pay a huge amount from your own pocket. So you take a calculated decision over here, get a quotation of this. So for your quotation, you do a multiple transactions. So you'll say, okay, it's a practical business. Let's say you add 10 things on my coverage. Okay, let's see the price. Let's say $100. So you cut down on few things and you come back, let's say 6 or 7. So your price would be less. Okay, so once a customer agreed on a price, you bind your policy and issue the policy. So quotation is the process of costing and your charges, like how much would be your final policy premium. Okay, so this is the core business of your insurance. This is what Guidewire offers me out of the box. Okay, in the base versions, I just might have to do some customization here and there to configure it specific to one client. So see, when we work on this insurance company, we work on project basis. Okay, project has a fixed timelines. So project is a short-term entity. It has a start date, it has an end date. So you work for one client for 6 months, do some customizations, and then you'll move forward to some other clients. Okay, so here we'll be talking about the policy center databases, data model. So when you are creating a policy, what all tables would be impacted? Okay, so my policy center data model will talk about okay, so what is account? Account is the policy holder. Okay, so you will be referred, if you are taking a policy, you will be referred as an account. On that account, you will be charged. Okay, so your billing detail will come on that particular account. Okay, then on this account you can have one policies or you can have more than one policies. So we'll talk about all the underlying tables that get impacted. You're working on these policy applications. So you'll talk about your contacts. Contacts are the people who are linked. Location is the address. Forms are your endorsements. Okay, the physical form. Coverable is the core unit. It could be your car, it could be your home. On your coverable, you would be having some coverages. Coverages would have coverage terms, premium amount, and your tools. Okay, so what's going on over here is you store all this information into a policy file, and this policy file has all these tables together. Okay, so that's your policy center data model, which we will be talking about. So with every customizations, suppose you want to modify some changes on the screen. Okay, let's keep the same policy application here. On this policy application, I pick some of the policies. Let's say I need to make some changes over here. What I'll do is I'll try to create an account. Account is a policy holder. So I'll search for something which does not exist. So you click on search. This is how you'll see this is my real-time business. How the insurance company work. So this would be my say policy holder. Okay. So on my policy holder, we will be talking about all these policies. Okay. Billing, we'll be talking about the agent for it. Okay. Okay, so you will be having different organization, different details. So we'll find out one organization over here, put a default organization. Oops, this does not exist. Okay, so because we have changed something, so you'll be finding one Enigma fire and casualty. Okay, and you pick all the agent. Okay, so you see always your business happens with your agent. So you give your agent detail over here and your account has been created. So this is your first step when you go and take the policy. So we will be telling you about the existing functionality. You don't really have to develop this. This is already available. So you have this account policy details here. Okay. So you have this contacts, locations, participants. So these are all the pictures that we have talked about over here. Contacts, locations. We'll talk about different forms. So you'll be getting all the form detail also over here. So now my client will come back with a requirement. Suppose on this policy transaction, I want to add one more table. Okay, one more column over here. Okay, something else. So that customization we will be doing. Okay, so we'll take a use case to modify this, change some business flows so that you can convert this application to a one particular module specific. Okay, guys, you can feel free to intervene if you have any questions. Okay, I hope you are following that. What are we trying and what are our intent of this demo? What will be your takeaway from here? You will learn a product to customize and you can apply for certain jobs. Okay. Any questions, guys, before we proceed?
No, as of now.
Okay, so this is my data model. I'll go to the next part of this. So what is the advantage of policy applications or Guidewire application over every other product is, so there are some common customizations, so there is always some common customization that you'll be doing, you'll be working upon. So those common customizations you can simply do by a product model. It is a Guidewire product. Okay, it's an internal UI. You just simply need to customize this, change some applications directly over here. Okay, you don't need any coding experience or any development experience to do this. Any lawyer, okay, any any adjuster, any claimant, any other guy, any business analyst, function analyst, okay, your attorneys or anybody, okay, who is part of your application functional consultant can simply customize those applications. Okay, so what you'll do is, like, if you have to add a new coverage for this new client, you can do through product model. No required to do any code change. This application will do the code changes for you. Okay, you can add any client specific questions, any customizations that you have to do, you can do on top of your product model. Okay, so you'll talk about adding some system tables. These are some common information that you want to pick from. Okay, then you talk about changing your policy line that you want to okay, So this is like, changing my adding new line of business or any other details. Like if you have, you can, change these items and modify some things. Okay. So product model is a very, very interesting features which will help you to do the customizations or the common customization. And there are more customizations. You can simply do it by this UI. Okay. So it's so simple. This is how my UI looks like. Okay. So you have product designer. On this product designer, you can, customize and modify something. You can change your audit schedules, policy lines, products. Okay. Product is, let's suppose if we are working on insurance and your client says, like this, so that was an example from, let's say, one insurance company who says we want to add a mortgage insurance. Mortgage insurance is a part of your PNC insurance, but Guidewire doesn't support that. Okay, so let's see what all type of line of business that Guidewire supports. So this is my account. On my account, you can go for a new submission request. Submission means my policy request, and these are the line of businesses what Guidewire offers. Okay, so all of this, like commercial auto, commercial package, homeowners, personal auto, workers' compensations. So these are line of businesses. These are products Guidewire offers out of the box. Okay, so if your insurance requirement will work with personal auto, workers' compensations, homeowners, and general liability, you are good. Okay, you don't need to add any new line of business. If you want to add one more line of business, like say, mortgage insurance, so that is something you can do easily with this product. Okay, with my with my product designer, which is my product model. Okay, so it's a web-based tool. You can define and edit some informations, or any business analyst, any functional consultant can do it. You don't need to be specialist on it. Okay, you don't require any programming knowledge. And one more standard advantage of using this application is you don't need to be a coding genius for this. You will require a minimum coding knowledge, just the basics. You should be talking about some of the you should be having some of the basis of your applications. You should know basic declaration of your objects. Like even if you have, let's say, 5% or 10% of programming knowledge, you can learn to customize this thing. Okay, so it's a paid product. It's not as tough as your Java or .NET. You are working on top of ready-made solutions, so you learn this product and you can simply customize it. Okay, so after policy, after product model, we have next thing is my rating part. Rating is where you determine the cost of a policy. So based upon your coverage, so rating is my bread and butter of my insurance company, right? So rating is where I try to beat my competitions. I try to come up with it's okay if somebody is giving you policy on some other. So rating will decide you the actual premium amount that I will be charging to the customer. So Guidewire offers different rating engines. So Guidewire offers you the modular applications. If you are already running with some third-party legacy rating engine, you can simply integrate with it. Okay, or Guidewire has its own rating engine also. So rating engine will take your coverages, your coverage terms, your modifiers, some of the inputs to decide the price of a particular policy. Right? If I take a car insurance, I take collision coverage, say $200. If I take comprehensive, make it $300. If I take roadside assistance and something, let's say make it $400. So your rating will calculate the price based upon the input parameter that you are increasing. So that integration you can do with Guidewire products. Okay. So again, my agenda of the training would be we will be taking you with all the policy center functionalities. Okay. So policy center will have some out of the box features. Okay, it would be having some of the how you manage the policy. It's a policy admin systems, how you modify some changes. So first thing is you should be learning the product, you should be learning the domain, and then you should learn some of the coding skills to customize this applications. Okay, then you can talk about some customized changes to the Guidewire applications. You can add some more screens, customize it, modify it. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, so now when we have to do this customization, we can modify some existing behaviors, something, let's say with some some line of business Guidewire doesn't, some client doesn't want. So you have to customize it, configure it for a particular client. So that is the core operations. That is the core, our job responsibility is. So first you learn the existing product, how the policy application works, and then on top of your business flow, we will be customizing and changing it. Okay. Since we are talking on the same lines, I'll give you an example. Okay. So how exactly we do is, so we have this Guidewire. We come back with some story cards and say my policy center changes. Okay. In fact, we have others one also. And let's say this is my policy renewals. Okay. So this is how the real-time requirement will come. So you will have a policy requirement. Okay. So this is what business analysts will draft you. That, okay, this is what you have to implement. Okay. This is my document control for one client. Okay. This is my UI mockup. Okay, this is my existing way of Guidewire to do a policy renewal. So what I have to do it as an implementation guy. Okay, see, I'm not a developer. I'm just a configurator or an integrator. Yeah, I have to withdraw my transactions. On the transactions, I need to modify this thing. Say my not taken functionality, not taken must not be available in the close options drop. Okay, does it make sense? So I have to remove this not taken option. That would be my requirement. All right, so these are the customizations, these are the requirements that we will be teaching on in our trainings, and this is what you have to do in your real-time work. Okay. Any questions on this, guys? Is it making, are you following? Any questions so far? Guys, you can take this time to ask anything, anything specific to this discussions that we are talking about. So otherwise, more or less, this is the, this is what the agenda of the training would be. And now we are talking about some of more core features. So Guidewire has a different rating engines. So you'll talk about, my database, Inspiration, Duck Creek. So Guidewire is a complete modular applications. You can pick something, okay, try to integrate with any third-party applications. You don't have to go with the entire insurance suite. You can simply pick something, say my policy applications, and use it with some other third-party legacy claim and billing applications. Okay, so this is my common rating engines, and we'll talk about this is my code changes. So when the moment you click on the quotations of a particular policy, so you'll talk about my request quotations. Okay, so you have a different way to integrate to a different applications. So it offers you the rating plugins, my rate periods, rate period implementations. So you have different ways of creating your rating engines. So based upon your rate method, so you have like rate flow or system. Based upon your rate methods, you can change your integrations. So we'll tell you about what all integration methodologies we use. Okay, what Guidewire internally use, how you can change the code flow to integrate from one rating engine to another rating engines. Okay, so that is what we have on the policy center applications. Okay, so on policy, a quick recap, we'll talk about the policy UI, product model, and my rating engines. Okay, so that was for the policy applications. Now talking forward on the claims applications. Now when your claim application will come, your first intake would be that you would be having an intake over here. So the intake would be, let's say you had an accident. Okay, so you make a call to the customer service people that, okay, I had an accident and I would like to file a claim on this. Okay, so when this insured files for a claim applications, okay, next moving forward, we'll talk about the second step called, there would be claim adjudications. That somebody will do the loss assessments, do the vehicle inspections. The insurance company employee will come and do the verification, take the pictures, and will come up with the final price. That, okay, this much is what we can offer you. Okay, so that is called your claim adjudications, where they will judge your opposing viewpoints, whether this is a legitimate claim or not, or this was manipulated, and he will approve certain dollar amount. Okay, so on your claim, we have a business perspective and a functional perspective. Okay, so my business perspective is like this, how much amount that you have to pay. Functional is how you will do it. Okay, so after claim verification is done, whatever the dollar amount that this guy has approved, that much of payment will be done. Okay. Once claim approves, the customer gets the payment, and your, the policy life cycle completes. So I was the policy holder. I was doing my timely payment of my premium. Okay. If something went wrong, I went ahead and filed a claim on my claims applications. Okay. Took my claim, and I continue taking my policy, continue, paying my premium payments. Okay. So this is my basic transactions. There's one more specific transactions called recovery. So that we will be talking later on, claim specific stuff like, say, claim subrogations. Sorry, I think what happened. Okay, so we were over here. So what we'll do is we have this recovery transactions. So your claim adjudication happens, and you take a recovery of this. Recovery means, let's say if your car has been smashed, so it is beyond repair. Okay. Oh God. Okay, so we have this recovery transactions. Now we'll talk about my agenda of the training would be, we will understand the existing business flow. Okay, we'll talk about the claim center has a different way of fraud handling. So we'll try to customize it. We will implement my fraud management. We'll take more input from the claim adjusters, and we'll make our database and UI changes. So when you talk about Guidewire technical work, it has got these two things. Okay, it has got UI changes, my PCF changes, and my database changes. Okay, so over here what I'll do is, for all my database specific stuff, I will be modifying on the data model entities changes. Okay, then we'll talk about the application server, my GOSU instances. So GOSU is the programming language that we will be using over here. Okay, and finally we would have our UI changes. So if I have to customize my Guidewire product, I need to learn the configuration parts, and then I'll need to learn the integrations part. On configurations, what I will be doing is, if I do this, I'll go to one particular account. Now suppose if I have to, this is my existing account. On this, I have to capture some extra information over here. This is my account holder name. I want to capture some additional information over here. So if I click on edit, okay, I need to capture some more information. Let's say my secondary phone, or I say I want to capture my middle name. So that would be my customizations that I'm working on my applications. Okay. So on that thing, like if I have to customize something, I will be making a database column for my middle name. I will be writing my GOSU class instance, and I will be working on my UI components. Okay, I will be designing a new text box on the UI, and by which I can work ahead and talk about it. Okay, any questions guys so far on the configurations part? No questions guys? Are you sure you guys are following what we are discussing right now, and how come this would be helpful for you? Okay, so now moving ahead, when we talk about my fraud handling management, we'll talk about database changes. Okay, now we'll talk about some of my common Guidewire customizations. So my common customizations would be on my screen level changes. This is the hierarchy that I will be working upon. If I have to make any change and implement any change, it should follow on this pattern. So how my UI has been designed. So we'll talk about talk from the architecture point of view, that I have to fit my elements following the same pattern. I have to apply all these elements in a specific positions, and then only I can do the customizations. Okay, all right, so we can we have to suppose we need to build some new screens. We need to define some new database properties, data model, UI architectures, business rules, validations, script parameters. So all those things we will be doing as part of my configurations. So my configuration will cover 70% of the job that I will be working upon. Okay, on integrations now, when my application is working, I need to integrate with some third-party applications. So suppose my Guidewire, how my policy is talking to billing, claim is talking to policy. I have to work with these integration methodologies. So Guidewire uses all these standard open source technologies for my integrations. Okay, like how Guidewire interacts with other applications. So it uses your web services, messaging queues, batch processes. So those are the core topics which Guidewire uses to interact with different applications. So if I have to expose some function service of it. Okay, so we'll see these are the different ways. We'll talk about the batch process, messaging, and web services. So I'll just quickly give you the most important of my web services. So I can access all my policy center web services using this shortcut. PC/WS. WS stands for your web service. One second, let it load. Oh God, I think it is taking some time because so this is the shortcut that will list out all the SOAP web services and your REST web services by which your application will be interacting and talking to some different systems. This should have been fast. Let's see. Come on. Okay, so by the time this will load, we'll come back on this. So we will be talking about how you do a database based integrations. Integrations. You will be having file based integrations. We'll talk about messaging. Messaging would be asynchronous integrations. That means not the same time. So you'll be having a messaging queue. Let's suppose your check is cleared. So they will put your check on the bank's queue. On the financial institutions queue. So you put your check on their queue, and from their queue they will pick this data and start processing. So let's say in a day if there are 60 checks cleared, so those checks should move to the bank's queue, and bank will process based upon their whatever the convenient time they have. Then you will be talking about different batch processes. So all your business logic revolves around batch process. So we will be doing all the complete hands-on, from building my database, writing my GOSU instances, writing my UI changes, to exposing our web services. There are two types of web services, inbound and outbound. Okay, we'll consume a third-party web service, we'll expose our own web service, we'll create a messaging and create our own batch processes. Okay. So it would be complete so that you will have a real-time experience. So see, these are my different web services. So you see this Guidewire web service, go to Policy Center. This is the latest version of Policy Center, which is version 10. And you will talk about this policy details. Okay, import policy. This is my complete visual file for my policy details. So any function that I want to expose, I will be creating this format and will be sharing it to my third-party consultants. Okay, some other people who are working on some other as a consultant in some other company who can use my visual and start calling my web service operations. So they can actually, in fact, if I'll give you a practical example, see this policy search API. So you have this function called find policy period by policy number and date. Okay, this is my one operations. You can have by date and by response. So what you do is if you have to search my policy details, so you have to submit my policy number, okay, and my date. So I just will be passing my policy number and date from my claim applications, and that will give me the complete policy information. So this is how claims is talking to my policy applications. Okay, does that make sense? So this is what we will be talking on the integration side. And now we have all application specific integration points. So application specific in the sense, okay, So like for every applications, say I have a policy application, claims and billing applications. Okay. Okay. So all right. So we can have some policy specific integration points, claim center and billing center, and we'll be giving you complete hands-ons. So if you guys don't have the software with you to practice, so we will be giving you the virtual machines. So virtual machines would be something like this. You can do it. Okay, 1 second. Let me finish this once. Okay. So we will be giving you virtual machines, like we'll be giving you the software to practice, the story cards, the business use case to implement so that you can learn from this. We'll be teaching on the configuration integration fundamentals on the training applications, how Guidewire offers, which is recommended by Guidewire. You will be accessing direct policy, billing and claim applications. And we will be giving you training on the latest version of Guidewire. Okay. So this is the best look for your job on Guidewire applications. Okay. And that would be a open house for questions. Okay. So in case of virtual machine, how we do it, we'll give you this IP address, it would be dedicated IP for you guys. So you can, connect to this. You will be getting a username and password from our side. Okay. It has a domain. So you'll be logging into this applications. It would be having a month-long access. So you should be getting this access for a month and something like this. So you have this products available over here, and you will be getting this policy application here. So, you have this complete software and you would do a complete hands-on over here. This is your code base. So if you have to modify any changes, any UI, any cancellations, any flow, you'll be doing it from here. Okay. And when you talk about this documentations, you'll be getting, Guidewire documentation from our side for any reference, for any, any usage or any implementations. You can, work on my policy center documentations. So you'll be getting all your application guide, configuration guide, all your Guidewire documentation would be here. Okay. So you can access all the documentations. You can access all your software, say my policy, claim and billing. In fact, you should be getting this policy center 10. Okay. So what you'll do is you'll, go to your, click on this one and access this. And this is your policy center 10 documentations. So we have the version, version 8 also, version 9 also, but the latest would be version 10. So you should access version 10 documentations, all the guides, all the setup. So nothing would be available on the public platform. So you have to access, only this would be your search platform. If you have to do anything, you need to search it over here. Okay. All right. So any other questions, guys? Any other thing that you want to ask from this, training perspective? Any questions, guys?
Yeah, Prince. Any beginner to a programming, or maybe somebody who's working in a operations side sector, can we adopt the Guidewire that much easily? Because we have seen that there are different centers, right? So some of them require not even a code changes like customization, as you mentioned, but whereas some requires changes, J2W integrations and all. I just want to understand. See.
Yes, you can see again, like I said, why you have to create, why you will be working on Guidewire. Let me quickly show you something over here that would be very interesting. So the benefit of this application is that you should be accessing it. Let's say you'll try with the Google and write your GOSU program. Okay, this is the programming language they use, and the purpose of your programming language is, it is It is influencing with, it's influenced with your Java, C# and ECMAScript. Okay, but for your configuration, you don't have to be a a complete Java expert or a .NET expert or C# expert. Even if you have basics knowledge, so you should be knowing the domain, you should be knowing the existing functionalities, and you should know actually how you can customize the product. So that all thing that we will be teaching you from scratch. Anybody, even a fresher from fresh college pass outs, no programming background, can learn this language. So it's not the programming language that is important, it is the product that is important. So you need to learn this language to customize it. So even if you're not comfortable with any programming language, you'll be getting some references. You already have the so much of code. If you see this, you already have a big code file. So you have a complete source code over here. See this. This is my source code. These are my all the packages. See, all are my code. So you already have the complete code set up with you. It has all the features. All you need is just to take a references from there, and similarly you make your changes. Okay, and your configuration is typically for a non-developers also, like anybody without any programming language. Anybody, any information about the programming language or any programming background, it's for for a general public. Anybody can learn that.
Yeah, thanks, Praveen.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, so if there is no further questions, I guess this is all that I have to give you, to tell from my side. Okay, and we have been in this business from last 2-3 years. I'm working as a as a technical architect, so I know this product in and out. I would be able to help you to so that you can learn from scratch, from nothing to at least this will give you an option on your career. Okay, so any last questions before we wrap up? So Hanit and Anand can take it forward from here. Okay, hi Vinod. Arindam, can you please?
Yeah. So Praveen, yeah, can you repeat your question?
No, I'm saying like I'm done from my side. I have given all the topic that we have, all the modules that we cover, what exactly we do, how we provide the hands-on. So I believe like if nobody have there's any specific questions, we can we can finish the
Sure.
demo.
So thank you, Praveen. Yeah, for taking the time to take the training. So those on the call, so we have already shared in the chat, right? The Google form link. So if you want to give your details, we'll reach out to you for future Guidewire trainings. As Praveen said, like each module, policy center or billing center or claim center, it's at least 4 to 5 weeks training. So if you are interested, please register in that form, and we'll get back to you about further Guidewire related trainings. Okay, I would say, yeah, thank you very much, Praveen, for taking the time. And yeah, if you do not have any questions, then we can end and leave. Thank you.
Okay, thank you guys. We'll catch up some other time.
Sure, thanks, Praveen.
Thank you, Praveen.